Hello world. Welcome to another segment of Rock and Roll Talk. My name's TJ, and this is Professor Vitto here. Introduce yourself and tell us about
I'm Vitto Curly. I teach at Moraine Valley College in Daly. I also narrated a movie called The Last Hippie Freak. I'll be playing at the Gene Siskel Center on June 20th.
Awesome.
And we're going to discuss a little bit whether it's the Rock Hall of Fame or the Rock Hall of Shame.
Yeah. Is it the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or the Rock and Roll Hall of Shame? That is the question. And I've always thought that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was a great institution when it started in 1981 because not only did they feature the architects of rock and roll, but they also featured the roots of the architects. You know, like Muddy Waters, Hank Williams, and so on, Motown and all that. But something happened around the millennium, 2000, 2001. I don't know if millennials took it over or what, but it just seemed like they kept snubbing more and more great ones. But we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. But first, I want to just pay homage to one of the greatest drummers of all time, Neil Peart. He passed away recently. I'm a huge Rush fan. Okay, Rush is one of those bands where either you love them or you hate them. And my favorite, 2112, which is very interesting, they talked about the priest of Cernix, where they would control the universe. The priest would control the universe, and they would put their foot down, their fascist foot down on music and art and culture. And there needed to be a rebellion against that, and that's kind of what this was about. So yeah, this Feral King's great album, that was after 2112. Then Hemispheres Continue the Greatness, and then there was Moving Pictures, and then there was Permanent Waves, and then they went into a new phase in the 80s where they were experimenting with new wave and reggae and ska and all this weird stuff that was not like their original sound. It took me years to finally get it. I didn't get it at the time, but now I get it. They were kind of reinventing themselves. But it's all good because they made the full circle back to the 2112 sound on this one album, Vapor Trails. And their last record by Rush is an absolute masterpiece. It's called Clockwork Angels. And this was the best way for them to close out their long career. So rest in peace, Neil. Now, sad moment there, but we're going to have a little fun here. And what do you make of... I know the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, for the most part, I'm kind of sour grapes about it since 2000, 2001, the millennium. And then there's so many that have been snubbed. I mean, I wrote down 2 pages worth of snubs, but you were happy that T-Rex and a few others actually were nominated.
I liked most of the choices. I mean, some people could have held off on a little bit longer. But yeah, actually, I'm a big fan of T-Rex.
Me too.
And glam rock in general.
Yeah, me too.
And but it didn't cross over to America really well. I mean, people like Elton John and David Bowie, but you know, like Rock's Music was never a great big band in America. They had some radio play, and I think that it's a positive thing for T-Rex to get in, and maybe like the New York Dolls or Mott the Hoople will get in sometime in the future. And they've been enormously influential on the early MTV bands.
Right.
A million people cover them. Bauhaus covers them.
Yeah.
Val Femmes covers them.
Right.
Blondie covered them.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, the whole effeminate image of Mark Bolan, you know, is really influential. I think that's part of why he didn't cross over, you know. And I mean, before Boy George, before Prince.
Yeah.
Prince was inspired by him too. He took a couple lines from T-Rex and kind of changed them and gave them a different spin, you know. So I think they're way overdue.
Oh, I would definitely agree. I mean, I'm a seniority guy. I think that you got to go by seniority. Unfortunately, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame goes by record sales, or who's popular at the moment.
Well, I don't know. Like John Prine got nominated though, and he's never had a top 100 album.
John Prine?
Yeah, and he's really unpopular.
Oh, he's very, very popular. Well, that's
very unpopular in sales.
That's ironic.
He doesn't. A lot of people cover his songs. People know who he is, but his sales have been terrible. I mean, up until recently, he made the charts recently because old people buy albums now, and not young people. So he's getting higher charts.
Oh, he's a legend. Yeah, I just feel that we should go in the order of who influenced who first, before we just say, okay, Green Day is the most popular band right now. But hey, there's like bands that influenced Green Day that way back in the day that still are not in. And I mean, like, who else did you like?
Well, I don't think that they have the best lyrics, but the Doobie Brothers, had some good instrumentation. They were, pretty fine musicians. They had some friggin' good hits, and they were, also popular and had some critical acclaim. I mean, I don't think they were the best band, but I think that they hold up pretty well for their era. They're not like Steely Dan or something where they were really experimental or different, but they they have some nice roots and gospel influences, and I didn't like Michael McDonald too much though.
Why is it?
I think they got really slick in the end, like at the end of the '79 or so, minute by minute. I kind of like the earlier versions a little better.
I heard him on the new soul station.
Yeah.
Steppin' 90.1, and I found that interesting that they played him on that station. It's a new station. It's soul, the heart of soul or something like that. And I like the fact that. But they have a great variety. I mean, they play mostly the old school soul stuff. But and they, I was like, Loggins and Messina. I mean, they made it to that station. I was like, wow. So it's interesting. I want to check out a new dimension in Chicago radio. Chicago radio, for the most part, pretty much sucks. There's too much of one thing on every station, and either it's too white or it's too black. Yeah. But getting back to the Hall of Fame or Shame. Who else?
Yeah, I think the Depeche Mode and Nine Inch Nails are really, I mean, I don't know if I should say bands, because Nine Inch Nails isn't really a band, but they're pretty important figures in rock history. I mean, they both had songs that Johnny Cash did, and they helped revitalize his career.
Yeah.
And I don't think Depeche Mode is. I mean, I think they're not as good as New Order, but they're a significant, important.
I think his version was better than Depeche Mode's.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But I like the original too. They're a really nice synthesizer band, and they had a longer shelf life and were longer than Human League and all those other bands, Flock Seagulls. They were one-hit wonders, but Depeche Mode were big for
Did
many
Depeche
years.
Mode make it?
They did.
Okay.
And Nine Inch Nails did too. And Nine Inch Nails, the Trent Reznor collaborated with David Bowie, and he's done some really interesting soundtrack music. And more than anybody, they helped popularize industrial music. And I like the whole goth industrial scene. I like bands like Ministry and Killing Joke, and I think that I mean they hit a bigger audience, and it's kind of difficult music. It's very angry, nasty, and they also have really creative videos, very shocking, surreal videos. Some of the best videos I ever saw, and really daring videos. And Trent Reznor worked with some great collaborators. He worked with David Lynch. Lynch did a video for him. He did a lot of soundtracks to the System of Downs guy. And I just think they're. I mean, you could argue as to maybe the '90s guys. Maybe you want some of the earlier ones in first, but Soundgarden would have been a good choice too, but they didn't get in. And to tell you the truth, when they were around, I wasn't crazy about them because I'm not the biggest heavy metal fan. I thought that they were just a more interesting heavy metal band, but lately I've been listening to them more than hardly any other rock band. I think it's because Cornell was close to my age, and he passed a few years ago, and I kind of read up on them, and I heard a lot of his solo stuff and his stuff with the former Rage Against the Machine guy, Audioslave, and I think it's held up really well, and I like the fact that he blended psychedelic music with heavy metal, and Kurt Cobain himself said that they were trying to combine Black Sabbath and the Beatles, and Soundgarden did it better.
Yeah,
that's what Cobain said.
Oh, well, you can't do much better than that. Mixing those two, I mean,
it's just that they had 6 albums only that so there's other bands that have more albums, but they didn't get in this time though. But I think they will get in.
Well, as you can see. One of my favorite, well, maybe my favorite rock and roll band of all time is the MC5. I think if I had to pick one.
Yeah, MC5.
we had the privilege of seeing the MC50.
Yeah.
Standing for 50 years of MC5 music, yeah, Motor City 5. And it was only one original member, Wayne Kramer, but my life is complete because when Wayne Kramer came on the stage at the Metro, was it?
Yeah.
Metro, yeah. He did a fist bump to 3 people right in front of the stage. 1, 2, 3, and I was number 3. Doing a fist bump with Wayne Kramer just makes my life complete. But they were snubbed again, and I just want to go through the list here real quick of people that deserve to be in the Hall of Fame and are not. Once again, Pine Top Smith, going back to the 1920s. Pine Top's Boogie Woogie. That to me sounds like one of the first recognizable tones of rock and roll. Of course, they didn't have a name for it back then. They called it Boogie Woogie, but that... So, he's still not in, and we're going back to the 1920s, and he influenced everybody on this list, okay? Now, Thin Lizzy is not in. Judas Priest was snubbed. Devo was snubbed. Motorhead, oh God, how could Motorhead not be in the Rock and Roll of Fame? The New York Dolls, oh my God, The Runaways, Iron Maiden, The Dead Kennedys, Carole King, Saxon, Kraftwerk, Jethro Tull, Slayer, The Meters, Karen Carpenter, Fanny, the list goes on. Dolly Parton, Crime, Carla Thomas, Sonic Youth, Tina Turner is not in. Rage Against the Machine is not in. Television is not in. The Scorpions were snubbed. The Dead Boys were snubbed. Warren Zevon was snubbed. The Flesh Tones were snubbed. Bad Brains were snubbed. The Cramps were snubbed. And last but not least, the inventor of psychedelia, Rocky Erickson, is not in. The 13th Floor Elevators was the band that Rocky led that single-handedly invented psychedelia. And every artist that was nominated were influenced by just about all of these here. So that's a crime that these bands continue to be snubbed, especially the MC5. Come on. They were all over the spectrum. They only had three albums. Studio albums. No, wait a minute. No, they had 2 studio albums, 1 live album, which was actually their first album, Kick Out the Jams.
They're one of my top picks for a band that should be in. I think that they don't go. I think they're a little. The Hall of Fame doesn't seem to go for really hard rock. It took the Stooges, I think, more than 5 nominations to get in. It took Black Sabbath a really long time to get in. I still think they might get in. I think part of this because they have no identifiable songs that most people know. Mm-hmm. Kick Out the Jams is a great song, it's a great anthem, but most people have never heard it. Mm-hmm. A lot of musicians have, a lot of people cover it, and their story is a great rock and roll story. And I think they're the mentors of the Stooges. Yeah. So they should be in.
The Stooges were their baby brother band.
Yeah, right. And I definitely do think they should get in. I kind of also think that there are certain times when I like Blue Oyster Cult better than Black Sabbath.
Oh, I forgot to mention Blue Oyster Cult.
And,
I apologize.
Because they're kind of smarter than a lot of other hard rock bands.
Yeah, I agree.
They collaborated with Patti Smith.
Yes.
They were kind of unique and they didn't really fit their genre totally. I kind of thought they would have been, but yeah, Thin Lizzy's a good band too. Traditionalist, working class.
Hey, a black Irishman led them. How cool is that?
Yeah, and it might I think maybe it's because they were much bigger commercial impact in Europe. And I just hear 2 songs with them on the radio.
2 songs, Jailbreak and The Boys Are Back in Town.
So they reduced them to. I did hear other stuff I like by them. But I don't know if they'll get in. They might be in the same boat as Jay Giles. Mm-hmm. Because there are all those going to be new people that want to put in it.
I forgot to mention Jay Giles. I apologize.
You think he should be in?
Yeah. There's so many. I just I got 2 pages here. And maybe we could come up with a 3rd page. Tina Turner's not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Well,
How could that be?
I think they figured that I can Tina Turner's in.
Oh, they are.
But
But not-
I would have put her in before Whitney Houston though.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Whitney Houston, that's laughable. I mean,
Mae Houston is a really good vocalist, and she started out being more funky. But I think they want to also sell tickets and fund the Rock Hall, and she's somebody that would have, I don't know if she's not around anymore, but I think they want people that people know too, and that will, have more seats, more seats, and look, I don't know why the Monkees wouldn't be, because they don't think they're a real band. The Monkees, I think, are worthy of consideration.
the Monkees are not in?
No.
No?
No.
Oh, I apologize, world, for not mentioning the Monkees. I love the Monkees. And they were a real band.
They ended up being a real band.
Yeah, they ended up being
started out being playing a band.
Well, it was made for TV, but it's still entertaining as fuck.
But early on, they didn't write most of the songs or play the instrumentals on their albums.
I love watching those TV shows by the Monkees.
But even if you knock them down for that, they experimented with those short clips are almost like music videos.
Yes.
And they're very visually important. And a lot of
MTV must have been influenced by that.
They played the show on MTV.
Yeah.
And I mean, sure, it's kind of a shallow regurgitation of the Beatles, but they hired some of the best songwriters. They had good songs. They had a lot of classics, and they did write some good songs later on themselves. So I think they should be in.
Yeah.
Now there's only two left though.
Well, the last album by the Monkees was very good.